All-America tournament has become a staple of top lacrosse. From seniors to freshmen, the elite high school players in the nation are on full display. This year, we implemented a new regional format pitting the North, South, East, and West against each other. The best of the best face off in October, and we wanted to review the competition before the big day. This is the All-America Tournament Road to the National Championship. Hey now, and how's it? Welcome to the Road to the National Championship. This is the East Super Regional Highlight Show. I'm Booker Corrigan alongside ESPN and Big Ten announcer Mark Dixon. Dixie, a lot of moving parts when you look at the whole scenario of how Corrigan Sports got these tryouts and tournaments in. Let's look at the East Super Regional. What was your kind of opinion going into it?
Well, you know, these are, now we're moving into the areas of the country where COVID restrictions were a lot. You know, when you talk about these three regions, New Jersey, Connecticut, Connie, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you know, outside of that triumvirate of New England, Long Island, upstate, this had to be the most challenging region in terms of just being able to hold the tryouts and then have the event. So, you know, again, hats off to Corrigan, hats off to these student athletes, their families for you know, sticking with it and getting to play in this super regional and putting on you know, playing some really good lacrosse.
And it was great lacrosse. I was there to see it all. We had a great staff going there. Huge shout out to Andy Biello, Morgan Cook, and Kelly Sullivan, who were the ones juggling the live cats. And we certainly know we don't want to be the jerks, so we don't want to have any cat juggling going on our time. Let's get to the boys' command. 3-star watch. Henry Spencer out of Red Bank Regional, a midfielder. What do you love about his game from New Jersey?
Can score, you know, good goal scorer, and had 7 goals in the tournament, and played really well.
Ryan DeRocco out of Haverford School. All they do is produce lacrosse stars.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about the Haverford School, you know, John Nostrand, that incredible run that he had for such a long time. He may not be there anymore, but the talent still is, and DeRocco is illustrative of that.
Brady Picorni out of Darien, the attackman, Coach Jeff Braymeyer. He's only been there for about 37, 38 years. When I was coaching at Denison University, I went to Darien in 1991 to recruit their players, and Jeff Braymeyer was the head coach in 91. So he's got a nice run going.
I know a lot of New Canaan guys, know a lot of Wilton guys. Darien is an area where I'm not familiar with, so maybe they're that third horse that sneaks in while the New Canaans and the Wiltons are fighting amongst who's better.
Yeah, they certainly always are. The records in pool play: New Jersey went 3-1, Connie 2-2, Philly 1-3. But Philly in the semifinal, they exploded against Connie. How do you make that something like that happen?
This is a lot of lacrosse, and this was the first time in the history of this underclass tournament where teams had to play 4 games in one day. Typically, it's a game or 2 on Friday, a game or 2 on Saturday, and that sets you up for Championship Sunday. All of these regions had to play 4 games on Saturday, and that sets you up for Sunday. And look, when you have a balanced region where teams are really similar in talent and skill level, a lot of times it can be the coaching that puts you know, who puts the best pieces in the best position to win the game. And also it's just executing as players. Maybe players weren't super familiar with each other on Saturday, got a little bit familiar with each other at the end of that day, and then on Sunday they were able to put it all together.
And my man Wills Burt, he found the net 3 times in the semifinal for the Philly team. Let's now go look at the championship game, New Jersey against Philadelphia. Coach Byron Collins of New Jersey and Coach Brian Doherty of Philadelphia. A beautiful afternoon for lacrosse. Philadelphia in blue, New Jersey in white. And to get things going, a little rebound goal. Christopher Henning scoops the loose ball in front and cashes in. Philly up 1-0. But that would not happen often. New Jersey's Ryan Kim, he's going to go for a little NASCAR lap here, but then turns on the afterburners and scores low. That did not happen often against the goaltender Jamison for Philly. He did not get beat on those outside shots. New Jersey, lots of chaos here, but they found a way to make their own breaks all day. And number 22, William Deo, is going to cash this one in. There's the chaos. Here's the loose ball. Ball comes out, shot goal. Misedeo. New Jersey, some team offense working for head coach Byron Collins, and they cash it in as Colin Cardilla feeds Matthew Pepe for what would be an insurmountable lead. Now 6-1, Philly rallies behind A.J. Nikolic with the lefty dodge and finish. And now it's New Jersey regional MVP Robert Simone. He was a force all weekend at the faceoff dot. And right here he finds Matthew Pepe, the beneficiary. Now it's New Jersey just filling it up. Nate Lewis out of Bergen Catholic feeds Gray Doyle from Del Barton for the icing on the cake. Dixon's Stone Cold Stars.
Well, Henry Spencer for the Connie team. They didn't make it to the championship game, but he was stellar all weekend. 7 goals and 1 assist. A prolific guy to find the back of the net. And then Ryan Duraco from Philadelphia, 5 goals, 2 assists. Really, a quarterback type player, a steadying influence. And you mentioned it just a couple minutes ago, Robert Simone, the face-off guy for Jersey. You have to tip your cap to him. In any of these all-star events, you need the ball to score. And any lacrosse game, it's as elementary as that. But Simone was able to get possessions for that New Jersey team to help them win that championship.
And at times, New Jersey really was playing and make it, take it. When we get back, we're going to examine the girls' command division and the rest of them. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Booker Corrigan, Mark Dixon here. We're going to look at the Girls Command Division Championship breakdown. The super region for the East, Connie, Philly, and Jersey. What were your impressions?
I think coming in, you thought Connie was going to be the favorite just with the names they had on the roster. So really, it was theirs to win, and they were impressive all weekend long.
They found a way to impose their will. Let's look at the 3 stars to watch. Chloe Humphrey out of Darien. They just graduated Kit Eriks, but they certainly have a star in Chloe Humphrey.
20 points on the weekend, 14 goals, 6 assists. That's impressive, any way you slice it. Humphrey was really a star at this tournament.
Emma Bradbury out of Springside Chestnut Hill, the midfielder for Philly. What do you like about the way she scores?
I love the way she 8 goals on the weekend, and just her up and down ability. Playing midfield in women's lacrosse, especially at the collegiate level, they might only most top teams run 1 midfield. So, it is the equivalent of soccer, cross country with boundaries.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, these midfielders, and she was a fit athlete and really fun to watch.
And we picked a defender. Ellie Johnson out of Greenwich Academy. She's a sticker.
Really is, and she was impressive all weekend long. Aggressive when she had to be, but I liked her intelligence. There is such a thing as being over-aggressive, and Johnson was not that. She was smart, played within herself, and was really a star on this Connie team.
Time and place, appropriate behavior. Defenders have to have that knowledge of when they can attack and when they can sit back, and she certainly did. Going through the pool, Connie went 4-0, Philly 2-2, New Jersey 0-4, but there was nip and tuck in a couple of those. Let's get a look at the championship game. It was Connie against Philly in a hotly contested match. Setting out in dark blue, Philly in white, and Connie is going to open the scoring with the Chloe Humphrey coming around from behind and nailing the sharp angle shot. 1-0 Connie girls. Connie still rolling heavy. This time it's Colette Quinn, also a Darien star. Philly gets a free position, and Emma Bradbury bringing it, slinging it, and stinging it. Philly again, Annabella Schaefer off yet another free position. And the Haverford High School star nails the leaner. Tom Dwyer would be proud. Connie gets an acrobatic marker from Taft School's Truss Van Wees. Her bank rolls on Swo. Suddenly, we're looking at Cinco de Mayo as Alexis Ventresca from Episcopal knots it at 5. Will Gibbs is thrilled. Philly's 7th goal courtesy of Alexa Vogelman. She catches the ball with her feet moving, her hands free. If you don't think that's awesome, you need awesome lessons. Connie's Kaylee Summers, the simple dominant power dodge. Mark at 8, dude. Connie had a tough ride all tourney long, and this time it's Molly Snow who does the honors with the goal off the ride. Here you see her chasing down the goaltender. They get the ball on the ground, and Molly Snow, cha-ching. Connie, rolling. Dixie's stone cold stars. Who'd you love?
Well, Humphrey, again, was just terrific all weekend long. 14 goals, 6 assists. And then you look at Emma Bradbury. She was terrific all weekend with her playmaking ability out of the Philadelphia team. Hats off to Connie. They get to go to Virginia Beach to play in the championship weekend, but this was a really fun Girls Command East Super Regional.
And we will take a look at the girls' highlight division when we return for the road to the national championship. Let's look at the girls' highlight division of the East Super Regional Championship. Booker Corrigan, Mark Dixon. Dixie, did you have some expectations coming into this division?
I really didn't. I thought that it was a fairly balanced division on paper. Again, limited knowledge of girls lacrosse at the high school level, but what I saw from this, it looked like it was a pretty balanced region.
And we had some stars to watch. Jordan Lipkin from New Jersey, Millbourne High School. Her sister Allie also played in the tournament. What did you like about her stats?
Well, she's smart. She's going to Stanford. So, 4 goals and an assist, you might say in an all-star event, wow, that, didn't really blow you away, but I think her leadership ability and just the way she carried herself all weekend, I thought she was a real linchpin for that Jersey squad.
Margie Carden out of Villa Maria Academy for the Philadelphia squad. She's an attacker. 3 goals, 3 assists, pretty balanced. Is that what you're looking for?
That's a word that we've used throughout these programs is balance, especially on the offensive end when you play attack, whether it's men's or women's lacrosse, you all have roles. Are you a quarterback? Are you the shooter? Are you the off ball? And I think Carden really could play any of those roles, but her balance leads her more in a quarterback type situation.
And St. Joseph High School has a star in Isabel Casucci. She finds ways to accomplish things, and Connie benefited from her presence.
They really did, and she was fun to watch all weekend. Connie didn't experience the level of success that they wanted to, but Casucci was really a bright spot.
New Jersey went 3-1 in the pool play, Philly 2-2, and that leaves Connie to go 1-3. It was Connie and New Jersey in this championship game. Wow, what a doozy it was. Let's get after the highlights from the East Super Regional Championship game in the girls' highlight division. It is Connie against New Jersey, and it was a battle. And their second goal comes from the stick of Mackenzie Blake on a lefty sweep, and she punishes the corner. Connie gets the lid off the goal with some great passing as Callie Cirilli will finish the piece of the puzzle for the Connie marker. New Jersey, fourth goal off a great cut and feed as Margaret DeFabio nets a nice one for the New Jersey squad. Connie, sick look off the free position. Sharir Power hits young Miss Harden, and she does a great job. McKenna Harden finishes, and now it's the Connie squad. They're playing a little backyard ball. The Kristinskis make something happen. Molly gets a beautiful goal for the Connie squad. Connie still rolling heavy as Ella Kittredge has the lefty snipe. Time, room, bullseye. You want artistic? How about Clearview High School's Haley Russo with the nifty underhand flip shot? I don't even know what you call that, but that was fantastic. New Jersey, number 20, Olivia Paquille destroys the corner, and what she just did is illegal in 7 counties. You go, girl. Dixie, let's talk about your Stone Cold Star.
We talked about Lipkin, just her leadership and being able to keep that Jersey team focused. Got to hand it to Connie. A rough day, 1-3. Obviously, they didn't win that championship game, but Lipkin was a difference maker for that Jersey squad. And then Carden, the Connie team upset Philadelphia in the semifinals, but Carden was terrific. All weekend, very balanced against scoring for that Philadelphia team.
When we get back, we will look at the boys' highlight division championship play, the bracket, and the highlights from the boys' older division called the highlights. It's the class of 21 and 22 young men getting after it in the East Super Regional. Welcome back. It's time to look at the boys' highlight division championships of the East Super Regional. Booker Corrigan, Mark Dixon. Dixie, any expectations as you look into this one?
I thought Philadelphia's lineup was impressive. I thought that the roster that they assembled for this tournament was one to be reckoned with. And I think it played out that way. There's a reason you play the games, but Philly from the start, you looked at them and, much like when you looked at that DC roster entering the South Super Regional, you're like, okay, if these guys play up to the level they're capable of, they should have success.
And 3 stars to look at: Eric Spanos out of Malvern Prep. Coach John McAvoy, he's been there for a long, long time. He's an attackman. What do you like about his game?
Spanos is a Maryland commit. He's a goal scorer. He's had 12 goals in this tournament. He's had a lot of pressure on him. Way back when, before the recruiting rules changed, a little trivia question. Eric Spanos was the first 2021 to commit to a college, and it was University of Maryland and John Tillman. And he kept that commitment throughout the change in the process and the NCAA legislation, so hats off to him.
That is a long time ago.
I think it was 8 years ago, to be honest with you.
Matthew Fritz, also from Philly, Wissahickon High School face-off guy. You talk about face-off guys can build momentum.
And I've watched Fritz compete. He's played against my son in many tournaments as Fritz plays for that Triple H club out of Philadelphia. He's headed to Ohio State, and quite frankly, at least at this point in his career, stylistically, he reminds me of Jake Withers. high school, an Ohio State great that helped lead the Buckeyes to that 2017 national championship game. Fritz is a very good face-off man.
A lot of times in these events, goaltenders can get, hung out to dry. Daniel Daly out of Wayne Hills High School, he found a way to help lead New Jersey. How?
Making saves. I mean, it might sound elementary, but you're going to get plenty of opportunity to make saves in these types of events, especially playing so many games in such a clustered, a short period of time. But Daly, a Navy commit, was terrific.
Let's look at the pool play. Philly rolled through some great defense by young Mr. Buno for the 4-0 Philly team. Of course, New Jersey 1-3, Connie 1-3, so they split a game. Let's get right down to the championship game highlights. New Jersey against Philly. Philly in white, New Jersey in green, and number 11 for Jersey. Finn Morgan says, let's get it started, and stashes it up where Grandma hides the Thin Mints. Philly gets on the board with a righty rocket from Alex Petrogiani out of the Academy of the New Church. Goodness. Philly finds a way to now knot it at deuces as Colin Zeich, the pride of Saucon Valley, unleashes one. Y'all sit back and enjoy the light show. New Jersey gets a man-up goal from a power player, Justin Lawler, with a lefty laser. Philly crawls back in it. Petrogiani with a power move of his own. And Philly now stretches the lead coming up. They're up 4-3. Now they're going to go 5-3 as Penn Charter's big dog, Antonio DeMarco, is determined and won't be denied. Philly shows that ground balls become opportunities. Andrew Kelly, look at the hustle with the GB, and he goes top cheddar. Young Mr. Kelly making his presence known. And some Philly pretty passing. Little transition here. Quick stick pass. Chris Wong hits Jack Clark. And Philly goes on to win it. Dixon's Stone Cold Stars.
Well, there's Spanos, 12 goals, 3 assists on the weekend, just an offensive force the entire tournament for Philadelphia. And Daly, a big reason why that New Jersey team was in it, had an opportunity to get to the championship, had a chance to win that game. They were competitive for a while, and 15 saves. He was really, really good.
It is now time to get set for, we have one more bracket to go, and then it is Virginia Beach, October 16th, 17th, and 18th for the national championship. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Booker Corrigan for Mark Dixon, reminding you, you only get one shot at today. The All-America Tournament has become